Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and this is a breakdown of the latest trailer for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Dreams, which I first watched in a dreamlike state since I was up at 5:50 a.m. refreshing AMC's glitchy app trying to get tickets for this movie. Order creation failed? Yeah, more like Nicole Kidman needs a whole roto herself. From classic Disney Easter eggs to third eyes to the return of Billy and Tommy proving we all gotta rewatch WandaVision, there's just so much to unpack here, so let's go through this frame by frame. Let's go!
I've been dreaming every night. The same dream.
And every morning, the same nightmare.
All right, imagery of Strange's nightmare is now scored by the Everly Brothers' 1958 song, All I Have to Do Is Dream. WandaVision actually featured oldie hits with the Monkees' Daydream Believer in its trailer, and another 1958 song, Yakety Yak by the Coasters in episode 1, which, judging from the calendar in the kitchen that episode, was set in 1961, the year that the Dick Van Dyke Show premiered. Here, the Everly Brothers' lyrics reflect Wanda's tragic longing for her children and vision. When I want you in my arms, when I want you and all your charms, whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. Yeah. Dream. And it's not just her sons Wanda wants, but one of her sons, Billy, as Wiccan, can cast his own actual charms. A new shot shows Strange waking up in that holding cell, fresh scratches on his head, and chunky cuffs around his wrists, but not yet bound like we saw in the other shot. These cuffs appear to be powered by something that emits a green glow, a color that in MCU past has been associated with the Time Stone, and with classic Loki's glorious purpose, conjured city while fighting Goliath. These cuffs could be used to confine or ID a particular variant. As Strange's voiceover speaks, an awesome audio effect transitions his voice into Wanda's.
Every night, the same dream.
And every morning, the same nightmare.
Which we could interpret to mean that Strange might be being puppeted by Wanda in that moment, or they could just be feeling parallel hauntings, and now Wanda is usurping his power by taking the literal words out of his mouth. We see Wanda in a new cardigan outfit in her Westview home from WandaVision, single cam set from episodes 6 and 7, as Billy and Tommy return. Actors Julian Hilliard and Jet Klein. Julian! Throughout all of our Twitter interactions, you kept this under wraps? Well done, young man. Now remember, the WandaVision post-credit scene showed Wanda's astral form reading the Darkhold, searching for her sons who called out to her for help. Now we're seeing what we think is a reunion with them, but really is another false illusion. Someone or something is taunting Wanda with the dream of a reality where she could have her kids again. Wanda does say the word nightmare here, nightmare being the name of a Marvel demonic entity, but I have a feeling it's going to be Chthon. Now, Billy and Tommy are, as they were often in WandaVision, back in their comics colors. Billy, aka Wiccan, in red, Tommy, aka Speed, in green. And then a fire roars in a hearth directly behind them. Definitely ain't safe for two kids to have started this alone. Fire? Hell? Not today, Mephisto! Don't do this to me again, Master! But I am obligated to remind you that in the comics, these two are revealed to be demon spawn, puppeted by a servant to Mephisto, something Marvel could choose to make canon if they want to give me the best birthday present, which it is today, April 7th, so please go light on the Mephisto memes today. Thanks. Really, my favorite Easter egg is on the TV behind them. An old black and white animated short that I thought initially could have been Steamboat Willie, but this ain't Mickey Mouse, this is Oswald and Hortensia from the 1928 short The Skyscrapers. If you know your Disney history, Walt Disney produced Oswald shorts for Universal before parting ways over a contract dispute, and then went on to create Mortimer Mouse, later renamed Mickey Mouse, who famously starred in Steamboat Willie in 1929, taking over the world from there forward. But over the years, Oswald gained a cult following as Mickey's forgotten predecessor, erased from memory, and then kind of later rediscovered and reappreciated as a real victim of studio machinations. You could actually draw a comparison between Oswald and Hortensia and Vision and Wanda, who were also background heroes who seemed to have missed their window, but thanks to WandaVision, re-emerged as the MCU's dominant power couple. Like Oswald, Vision has been killed off and then resurrected for profit, and now has a committed following of those devoted to his memory, including Wanda. Now, Wanda holds Billy and Tommy Tommy in her arms. In this cool sideways shot that cuts to her arms suddenly in the blink of an eye empty in this seance, confirming that that seance was to connect with her dream reality of her two sons back in her Westview house. Now, notice how most of the candles around her that were previously lit in the seance shot are now extinguished except for two of them. Perhaps all of these candles represented possible Billies and Tommies throughout the multiverse. Then as she narrowed it down to two that she thought were her two sons, two remain lit. As Wanda says the word nightmare, her Russian accent returns, or I should say her Sokovian accent, something that mysteriously faded between the events of Age of Ultron and Civil War and Infinity War, but as we learned in WandaVision was really the result of her binging American sitcoms with Vision and Avengers Compound as they learned that grief is love persevering, so shut your mouths. Still, that accent came back in choice moments when she dwelled on the events of Age of Ultron. The accent's return now could indicate Wanda back in that vengeful headspace. And since in this movie we will be seeing two Wandas, the accent could be another way this movie distinguishes which is which. Now, it can be hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel when you have high interest debt, and sometimes it can even be harder to ask for help. Well, that's where Upstart comes in. Upstart powered personal loans can help you pay down high interest debt all online with simple and easy to understand payment terms. Upstart has helped over 1.8 million customers on their path to financial freedom. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high interest debt, or funding personal expenses, Upstart can help you get one fixed monthly payment with a clear payoff date. Upstart knows that you are more than just your credit score, so rather than looking at your credit score alone, Upstart's model considers other factors like your income, employment, and other information provided in your loan application to find you a smarter rate for your loan. You can check your rate in minutes for loans between $1,000 to $50,000 without impacting your credit score. You can even receive funds as fast as one business day after accepting your loan. Don't wait and check your rate today at upstart.com/newrockstars. That's upstart.com/newrockstars to check your rate today. Don't forget to use our URL to let them know that we sent you. Go to upstart.com/newrockstars. Moving on.
Strange. The fate of the multiverse depends on us.
Okay, there's now a new shot of the ruins that I believe to be the Utopian Parallel, America Chavez's home dimension. Then at the center on this pedestal is a glowing blue item. Hard to tell, but it looks kind of like the Darkhold. We also see more of this dimension's architecture, a snaking rainbow road in the upper left corner. And then on the right, a spherical crystalline structure that looks like the light source of the space. Then another new-ish spot that released over the weekend, a hulking beast behind Wang that many thought was Chthon, but if you look closely at the shot of Wanda, as I pointed out, there is another one of these beasts behind her. So based on there being two of them, I'm less confident that this is Chthon. Reminder on Chthon, the elder god who sometimes looks like this, who originally cursed Wanda with her chaos magic and was the original author of the Darkhold. But rather, these could be Chthon's minions, the Ingerai, elder spawn demons created by Chthon and banished to another dimensional plane. But here, notice how their eyes glow red. Wanda could be controlling them here. And since there are two of them, at least in this shot, I just have to wonder if these might have been the life forms that Chthon used to base Billy and Tommy on. But their physical corporeal forms are actually these demons, the Ingerai. Look, I know, it's crazy, but the WandaVision producers did confirm Senor Scratchy, the rabbit, was actually Agatha's familiar who was supposed to shapeshift back into a monstrous demon just like this. So who knows? Billy and Tommy could truly be the demon spawn unleashing hell. Then there's that other new-ish spot that I talked about before of Doctor Strange in the Gargantos battle in front of that building with a sign for Stan Lee, which I just think might be a nod to Stan Lee, just because they paid tribute to him exactly this way with Stan Lee's pizza in the 2008 Hulk, though I know the sign could also be something else. But anytime I see the word Stan Lee in the MCU, I'm gonna say it's a Stan Lee reference, all right? So shut up. And then that awesome shot from the Super Bowl TV spot of Christine Palmer in the Illuminati lab with America Chavez in the holding cell as other lab techs flee and Ultron sentries charge forward. So many crazy things happening at once, but I'm gonna add another one to it. New detail, in the doorway behind her, it opens up to the Manhattan skyline. Folks, that is the Chrysler building. So this multiversal citadel that is modeled on the British Museum, it is located just like the Sanctum Sanctorum is right in the middle of Manhattan, but higher up over the skyline, making me wonder if it could be hidden in a pocket reality in the building that was once Avengers Tower, which has a great view of Chrysler Tower just like this does. The Illuminati folks could be headquartered in a British Museum-y pocket reality in the Fantastic Four's new Baxter building, which would fit nicely with our speculation that one of those Illuminati members could be Reed Richards. Okay, on to the last section.
Careful, Stephen. This path exacts a heavy toll. Okay. Marvel Studios, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse
Multiverse of Madness.
Okay, a few more shots from the super old TV spot, and then Mordo unsheathing his glowing sword, but then, yikes! Sinister Strange from the December trailer has a third eye open from his forehead. This could be a literal version of the mystical third eye that was alluded to by the Ancient One.
Open your eye.
I've used that to speculate that the reason Strange might have his Eye of Agamotto once more is that, like in the comics, there could actually be 3 of these necklaces. In an interview with Fandango, Sam Raimi would not say explicitly who the villain of this movie was, but he did hint that it would be an altered Strange. But he also indicated that at different points in the movie, all the characters' variants could be hostile antagonists. As Strange ventures out into other realities, figures out how they rhyme with our reality and are complete opposites or somewhere in between. Lastly, there's this new close-up of the rotting face of Defender Strange at the mountaintop battle, which I believe to be atop Wundagore Mountain, which is where Chthon's Darkhold Temple is kept. The way Strange twitches his head and looks directly at us is so freaky. Sam Raimi said in that interview that he wanted to embrace the original pitches from Kevin Feige and the first director Scott Derrickson, who is credited as a producer on this movie, that this should be a horror film. But he would not yet confirm if his Evil Dead frontman Bruce Campbell was making a cameo, but we all know the guy's gonna show up. And hey, while I got your attention here, if you live in the San Francisco Bay Area, I'm gonna start performing live comedy again with the hilarious folks of Endgame's Improv. Not MCU related, but there will probably be some nerdy voices at some point. Shows starting regularly in May, but tomorrow, April 8th, will be a free preview student show at 6 p.m. at the Stageworks Theater at 446 Valencia Street in the Mission. Come check it out. I'd love to meet you. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss. Follow New Rockstars. Subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love. Thanks for watching. Bye.